Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today doing a Suship deck profile. So I'm really excited to do this for you guys because this deck is an amazing XZ deck that can summon out all sorts of really awesome boss monsters. This deck just got some amazing new support out of Power of the Elements, giving us an insanely powerful new main deck monster, Shuri Red, which is an insane card for consistency with this build. So without further ado guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards, like in your name description every single video, getting his signed cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month you're a patron. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Shuri Red. Shuri Red is a great consistency card for this deck because it actually counts as additional copies of Shuri, which is a really awesome effect. So we're not only now playing 3 copies of Shuri, we're actually playing 6. So it's really helpful for this deck. This card also has the ability, this card's name becomes Gunkin Suship Shuri while in your hand, deck, graveyard, or your field. And you can only use each of the effects of this card once per turn, and you can reveal one other Gunkin Suship Shuri in your hand and then special summon this card from your hand. And then you can apply the effect to special summon an additional Gunkin monster from your deck, except another copy of this card, but negate its effects if any. Then you get to special summon from your X deck one XZ monster that mentions that monster's name in its card name, which is a really awesome effect that you can just instantly get out another XZ monster out on your side of the field by just revealing a copy of Shuri in your hand while this card is already in your hand to get an additional monster from your deck. That is an absolutely insane effect, and this card is hands down one of the best cards in the entire deck now. We then play 3 copies of Gunkin Suship Shuri. Shuri is a really good vanilla monster that's super easy to summon out from the deck with cards like Unexpected Die, but you have to play this card as a 3-up so you can go in for some really awesome boss monsters. This card on its own is also really good because it is a 2000 attack point normal summon. And then play 3 copies of Ikura. Ikura is a really good extender for the deck because it has the ability, if you control a Gunkin Suship Shuri, you can special summon this card from your hand. And you can only special summon this card once per turn this way, and during your main phase you can excavate the top 3 cards of your deck, and if you do, you can either add to your hand or special summon a Shuri that you excavated and then shuffle back the rest of the cards, which is a pretty good effect to just extend your plays and get another level 4 monster on the field so you can go in for more rank 4 plays. I then play 3 copies of Icefish. Icefish is a great 3-of as well as an extender because if you control a copy of Shuri or an XZ monster that has a Shuri as a material, you can instantly special summon this card from your hand, and then during your main phase you can special summon a Gunkin monster from your hand, except another copy of this card, and then you can take any number of Shuri from your deck or graveyard and place them on top of your deck in any order, which works really well with our copy of Ikura because it's going to stack the deck with more copies of Shuri to excavate off the copy of Ikura. We then play 3 copies of Uni. Uni is a great 3-of in the deck. It is a level 5, so you have to go in for a rank 5 play, but this card sets up for that super easy. It has the ability to reveal one other Gunkin card in your hand and special summon this card from your hand. And then you can apply the effect based on the card revealed for this effect. If it's a copy of Shuri, then you can special summon the revealed monster as well. And if it's an other card, then you place the revealed card on the bottom of the deck. And you can also target a Gunkin monster you control and change its level to 4 or 5, and then you can add a Gunkin Suship Shuri from your deck to your hand, which is a great effect to instantly be able to get to your copy of Shuri Red or the original Shuri off this card's effect. We then play 3 copies of Ash Blossom just to stop the opponent from searching the deck while we're going for all of our really cool XZ plays, which is just really good in this deck because the copies of Ash Blossom are hands down one of the best hand traps in the entire game. I then play 3 copies of Gamma and a single copy of Driver. These are in here because a lot of the times you're going to have a single copy of, say, Unexpected Die to activate or your Painful Decision to activate, and you're going to want to protect those plays, so your opponent might Ash Blossom you or go in for a play that's going to stop you from going into the deck. So your copies of Gamma are here to act like almost Called by the Graves to stop your opponent's hand traps, while also going in for a copy of Cyframe Lord Omega in the extra deck, which is an insanely powerful effect to just get a 2800 attack point monster for stopping a hand trap. So this card is a definite 3-of in the deck. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to be playing a single copy of Harpy's Feather Duster. Harpy's Feather Duster is a great one in the deck to be able to just completely get rid of your opponent's back row so you know you're safe to go in for your plays. I then play a single copy of Double or Nothing. Double or Nothing is a great one in the deck because we make so many rank 4s in the deck, so you can make your copy of Utopia Double super easy in the deck, detach a material from it, search this card from your deck, and when you do, you can then make a copy of Utopia on top of the copy of Utopia Double that comes out at 5,000 attack points. You can then attack the opponent with the copy of Utopia into a monster that they control, but not directly, and then detach a material to negate the attack, drop Double or Nothing, and go in for 10,000 attack points. If your opponent has a monster that's 2,000 or less attack points in attack mode, you're going to instantly win the game as long as they have 8,000 or less life points, which is an absolutely insane combo that any 2 level 4 monsters can equal this combo. I then play a single copy of Terraforming. Terraforming is really good to be able to get to our field spell, so this card is a definite one of in the build. I then play a single copy of Call by the Grave. Call by the Grave is just to stop the opponent's hand traps, kind of like your copies of Gamma, which is just really good in this deck. I then play 3 copies of the Gunkin Field Spell. This card is really good. Seaside Supper Spot is just such a good card overall as a field spell, because it has a really good effect that once per turn, if you normal or special summon a Gunkin monster, even during the damage step, then you can place a Gunkin card from your deck on top of your deck. And then once per turn, if a face-up Gunkin monsters you control that was special summoned from the X deck is sent to the graveyard by an opponent's card, activate this effect, that your opponent pays life points exactly equal to that monster's defense points in the graveyard, and then you apply this effect to special summon a Gunkin Suship Shara from your hand, and then you get to special summon a Gunkin XZ monster from your X deck using that monster that you control as a material, which is a really good effect to be able to use on this card that basically, if your opponent destroys the sushi, then they have to pay for it, which is absolutely a crazy fun effect. I then play 3 copies of Painful Decision. This is so we can search our vanilla directly from our deck. Yes, we do have to send one from our deck to the graveyard, but you really need to get to it as quickly as possible so that we can go in for so many different plays. I then play 3 copies of Unexpected Die. Unexpected Die is a great 3-of to bait out Ash Blossom, because when you activate this card, you're going to instantly get to special summon a normal monster from your deck, which is always going to be your copy of Shuri that you're going to summon directly from the deck. So this card is a definite 3-of in the build. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're just going to be playing a few traps in this deck. We're going to be playing 2 copies of Suship Daily Special. Suship Daily Special is a great 2-of in the deck that has the ability that when you activate this card, you can also reveal a Gunkin Suship Shuri in your hand, and then you can reveal 3 Gunkin monsters from your deck, and your opponent chooses one of them for you to add to your hand. Also, shuffle the rest back in the deck. And if you revealed a copy of Shuri in your hand at activation, then you get to choose the card you add to your hand instead of your opponent choosing it. And if this card's in the graveyard, except the turn it was sent there, you can manage this card and then target 3 Gunkin monsters in your grave and shuffle them into the deck, and then draw a card. I really like this card as a 2-of in the build because when you use cards like Painful Decision, you will be getting your copies of Shuri into the graveyard, so you're going to want to use this card to be able to shuffle them back into the deck to reuse them over and over again, which is really, really good. I then play 3 copies of the Phantom Knights of Shade Brigandine. Shade Brigandine is a great 3-of as an extender in the deck to be able to flip face up and get you an instant level 4 on your side of the field. This card is a really good card. You can play any extender that you want in this position, like a copy of Astral Utopia would be an option for you guys. The Water Tenyi would be another option for you guys. Any of those cards that just get you a level 4 instantly on your field is an option to be able to play in the deck. So you don't have to play necessarily Shade Brigandine, but I really like this card because you can set it on the field and react to the opponent with this card, which is a really, really good effect. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to be playing 2 copies of Ikora Class Dreadnought. The Ikora Class Dreadnought is a really, really good boss monster. It has a really awesome effect that if this card is XZ summon, you can apply the effects in sequence based on the materials used. And you can only use each effect of this card once per turn. That if it has a copy of Shuri, you get to draw a card. And if it has a copy of Ikora, then this card can make a second attack during each battle phase. And once per turn, when your Gunkin monster special summon from the X deck inflict battle damage to your opponent, then you can target a card your opponent controls and destroy it, which is a pretty good effect. I then play 2 copies of the copy of the Suship Carrier. Suship Carrier is a really good 2 of, because if you have a copy of Shara, then you get to draw a card, and if you have a copy of the Ice Fish, then you get to add a Gunkin spell or trap from your deck to your hand, which is a pretty good effect. And when this face-up card is, or when a face-up card is in the field spell zone, Gunkin monsters you control, special summon from the extra, cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects, and they gain attack equal to their original defense, which isn't that much, but does help out a little bit. I then play 2 copies of Uni-class Super Dreadnought. Uni-class Super Dreadnought is a really good boss monster that can get really big in this deck, and it has a really good effect that has the ability that if it has Shuri, you draw a card. If it has Uni, then this card has the ability, gains the ability to attack directly, which is a really good effect to just be able to attack directly with a 2900 attack point monster. And then once returned during your main phase or your opponent's battle phase, quick effect, you can target face-up cards your opponent controls up to the number of Gunkin monsters you control, special summon from the extra, and negate their effects. Then play a single copy of Redoer. Redoer is just a really good 1-of to be able to use in this deck to basically be able to take a card off the top of your opponent's deck. 1 copy of Baguska. Baguska is a good 1-of just to shift cards into defense position and basically kind of work like a skill drain while it's on the field in defense position, while also shifting everything into defense, which is really good. I play a single copy of number 60 because it can double the attack of a monster like your copy of your Uni class, which is a really good effect, especially if it can attack directly, but also this card can bring a monster back from the graveyard or let you draw 2 and discard a card. I then play a single copy of Utopia Double. Utopia Double is a really good card in the deck because you can basically make this card, detach a material, add double or nothing from deck to hand, make a copy of Utopia on top of it. The Utopia comes out at 5,000 attack points, attack into the opponent's monster, detach a material, negate the attack, drop double or nothing, and go back in for 10,000 attack points, which is absolutely insane. I then play a single copy of F-Zero to be able to rank up into your copy of Utopic Draco Future. These are really good in the deck and super easy to make as an end board after you attack with your monsters, because this card is going to set you up for so many different plays to have a negate in the deck. I then play a single copy of Double A Zeus. Double A Zeus is just a really good board wipe in the deck to be able to use because we are playing pretty much all XZs in the extra deck, and then a single copy of Psyframe Lord Omega because we're playing Gamma in the deck, and being able to get a card out of the opponent's hand after they activate a hand trap will essentially start them with 4 cards instead of 6, which is really good. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. It's a really fun deck to be able to play with. If you guys have never played with Suship before, you definitely should give this deck a try because it's super budget, which is really, really nice, and it's just really fun to be able to play because of how cool the artwork is and just what a fun deck it is to actually play with. So without further ado, guys, that's it for this one. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there soon, come part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.